Okay, so we're going to be having a quick look here at the Salesforce system and how exactly we can enhance data at account level with an SIC code. I can then use that SIC code to segment my database and do targeted broadcasts, targeted campaigns. You'll see that I've got a report here that I've already created, which was new accounts that were created last month, and you'll see that I have got a list of those accounts here. I've actually blurred out the email addresses because that's sensitive information, but quite straightforward to create that. The information that you need is the email address of the contact and the account ID, which is also known as the Salesforce.com ID. That information is important because when we bring the data back in, that's what we're going to use to match it. Once I've got that report created, I click on Export Details. I can then see that it's exporting as an Excel spreadsheet, and I'm going to click Export. That's opened it down here. Now, for the purposes of this demonstration, if I open that file now, it's actually not going to be visible to you on the webinar. In the test that I did, it didn't work. So I'm going to actually open it with Google Sheets. So I'm just going to create a brand new sheet here by clicking on the blank button there. And then I'm going to bring that in. So just let that finish for a second. Once that's finished creating that sheet, I'm going to go to File and then Import. And then I can see that it's report with the last 670 there. So click Upload, select a file from my computer, report, and then click Open. That will then bring that file in, and if I just click Replace Spreadsheet, that's fine because I hadn't got anything in the spreadsheet previously anyway. So that's now brought that information up. Again, that is blurred out, so you can't actually see the email addresses, but the account IDs I've left visible slightly. This information is all I need in order to enhance or run the enhancement process. But I'm going to do a few things first. I'm just going to call this EMM source and then press enter. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to select it all and I'm going to go to format and I'm going to clear formatting so that none of the wizards get confused. Then I'm going to reduce the capital letter for E there to a lowercase e, so it's one word, email, and it's lowercase. The account ID I can leave. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that column, the whole column. I'm going to go to plus and I'm going to copy and paste the column back in. Again, I've grayed out these records here for privacy, but they're just a list of the email addresses. I haven't brought across the account IDs. I don't need those to do the enhancement work. I only need the email addresses. So what I'm now going to do is I'm going to go to File and I'm going to go to Export. So click Download As and then go along and save it as a .csv. Now then, what's important here is that I select that file. I'm going to just bring this over here and I'm going to rename that and I'm going to just remove the space dash space and then I'm going to save it as EMM source and then close that. Now the reason I've done that is because Contact Enhance does not like special characters in any of the file names. I'm going to go over to Contact Enhance and I'm going to click Sign In. It's got my account name already and I'm going to click Sign In. I'm just going to check to see how many credits I've got left in the system. I've got plenty and I'm going to click on Dashboard. Once I've clicked on Dashboard, I can ignore this. This is the area that I'm looking for here. I'm going to click Choose File and then I'm going to select the file that I just saved, the .csv that I downloaded onto my desktop and renamed. And I'm going to click Open. Once I've done that, you'll see that a message comes up informing the user that the file has been sent for processing. You can also see down here that the status is set to processing. Now then, this can take a little bit of time depending upon how many records are in the file. It's important to remember that Contact Enhance is a bot. It's going off and doing the work one record at a time. It is not sourcing the information from static files. So in this case, it's sourcing the information from company's house. What is clever about this bot is that it knows which company owns the domain name that is on the email address. So what that means is that you only need to have the email address of your contact in order to do the enhancement. Contact Enhance does all of the clever bits. Now if I just refresh that, we should see that that has finished. So now I can click on CTRL download. I'm using a Mac, so on a PC it would be right click, and then save link as. What that's going to do is that's going to bring it back here, and I'm going to select that, and I'm going to just type in results there, and then I'm going to click save. So that's brought that down here. Now I'm going to go back to my Google Sheet so that you can see this. You could do this if you wanted to in Excel, there's no problem. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring this information back in as a new sheet. So I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to go to Import. Then I'm going to click on Upload, and you can see here that this is the file that I want, that I just downloaded out of Contact Enhance. There it is. I'm going to click Open. That will bring that back into the database. Create new spreadsheet, insert new sheet, that's what I want, and then import. So depending upon how many records I've got, that will have brought those back in. Now I'm going to get the one column that's important to me. You can see that it's found the company names on these records here. And therefore, when it finds the company name, it's able to identify the SIC code in most cases. It currently works on about 70% of your data. So I'm going to copy that column, and I'm going to go back to my original output where the account ID was displayed, and I'm going to paste it in. I've not done any sorting. I've not done any kind of A to Z sorting, otherwise it would mess it up. I wouldn't be able to do the copy and paste like I just have done there. So now I've got my email address, my account ID, and I've got my enhanced SIC codes on about 70% of the data. It's not showing that here. However, if I was to scroll down, it becomes a little bit more denser later on. What I'm now going to do is I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to go to Download As, and I'm going to go to .csv. This is because I'm going to now take this file and I'm going to put that back into Salesforce. So if I go back to Salesforce here, I can click this button, click Setup. Once I've clicked on Setup, I can then scroll down here to Data Management, and I can go to the Data Import Wizard. Once I've gone to the Data Import Wizard, you can see here I've done some tests earlier this morning. I can go along to Launch Wizard. Once I've launched the wizard, you can see that I've got a screen that comes up which allows me to select accounts and contacts as the objects I want to update. I then want to update existing records. The match is by email address for the contact, and at account level it's by ID. This is really important. You have to check that box, otherwise you will do your upload and nothing will happen. Then go along to CSV. Once you've clicked on CSV, you will be able to choose the file that you want. Select Choose File. That's the file that I want. Click Open. Once I've done that, you can leave this as it is. Click Next. This will then take us through to the final step, which is mapping. Click on Map. Select Find Salesforce ID. Oh, it's actually Salesforce ID. You can see here that we have got if I can spell it right. If I go to ID, it's probably going to be finding it easier. Then go down. It's not the user ID. It's not that, not that. There it is. Okay, so it's this record here, account level, Salesforce.com ID. It's not the contact level ID, it's the account level ID. Then click Map. Finally, for the SIC code that we're bringing in, I'm just going to search for SIC code. There it is, account SIC code. Click Map. Now what I can do there, you can see that it has brought in a couple here, and you can see here that I've got an address, and that is the SIC code, 73110. I did this a little bit earlier, obviously, because I was making sure that it worked. The final step would be for me to press Next. When I press Next, all of those records would be enhanced. I'm not actually going to do that now because if there was an error message, it would have already happened. It would have happened when I was doing this here. So you won't get any more error message if you've done what I've just done. It might be an idea for you to update only one record instead of 1,000 records or 10,000 records. The data import wizard can manage up to 50,000 records. If you need to update more, then you can use data loader, but for the purposes of this demonstration, we're going to just use the import wizard. So once I've done that, we'll see that this record here, if I select that, which is grayed out for you, but if I select it, I can then click cancel on this step. Once I've quit that, I can then go to Salesforce, type in that email address, press enter, look at the account, and I can see that it has appeared here as SIC code. Now that means that I can now go to my reports tab, I can run reports, and I can create views, I can create segments of people that are people that are coming in from companies with that SIC code 73110. That means that when I'm doing campaigns, I can do campaigns particularly focused at those people. And that's how we're able to segment our data in Salesforce. That's how we're able to enhance the data and segment it.